Hi, Chris Conway here, and a belated Happy New Year to you, and especially if you're one of my followers via my newsletter, and YouTube as well, of course. But I was just writing my newsletter, and I was thinking of all the things I wanted to say about how last year went and plans going forward. I realized it was easier to talk than type, so 2023 was a busier year. It didn't always feel like it. It was a bit sparse at the beginning of the year, but I did 73 gigs compared to 50 the year before. I'm including song slots in that, 30-minute sets and things, because I still got to rehearse and turn up and what have you. So that was partially responsible. Gavanan gigs with the Celtic band Gavanan, yeah, it was again about the same, 42 gigs, I think up 3, but really the focus last year for me was on songs. I had come to a stage really where I kept occasionally going for gigs or putting gigs on, and strangely after all this time, after the gap in the pandemic, getting nervous or overthinking a set or trying to put too many new songs in, or getting anxious before going on, waiting for the people before to finish, and whatever it was, I just wasn't as at ease as I wanted to be. And it took quite a bit of doing it and realizing the things I'd done wrong. Like I said, I think on one gig, I think my 60th birthday, I looked at the set, I thought 3 new songs, what am I doing to myself? So it took me a while to unwind a bit and enjoy singing old songs I knew well and not overthinking the set too much. And I think that happened a few times where I suddenly felt better about halfway through the year. I think some gigs with Vicky Clayton, I was opening for her. She came over from New Zealand, and I did some opening slots with her and playing with her as well. And I got to gel a bit more. And then I did a gig at the Sound Hive Social at a pub called Duffy's in town, Duffy's Bar, and they gave me a 45-minute set. And yeah, it was when I felt, for the first time, kind of more controlled, more relaxed, enjoying it more. And also songs, gigs are a bit different, or the world of doing your own songs. There are fewer gigs, I think, to be had doing your own material. But there's a huge blossoming of song circles, open mics, 30-minute sets throughout the afternoons. And I realized that unless I got out more to do it, A, I needed to get sharper live, and B, I'd just be singing my songs to myself up in my studio here. So it was a determined effort, and I think about 17 gigs or slots, and plus 1 with my mate Dan Britton. So that's what I did. Songwriting, I don't think I write them as fast as I did. I think the mid-90s, I really was the peak there. I was listening to a lot of singer-songwriter music, being influenced by heroes and heroines, and I think I churned out hundreds. And on later albums, when I was short of a song, I'd always find one I wrote back then and pick it up, sharpen it up. And yeah, it was, that was really the focus. And yeah, writing songs, I think I've got about 7 new ones. They're not all good. Some need a lot of honing, but I did play some out live. I think Have a Little Fun, which I think I've recorded on YouTube already roughly, and I sang that out a few times. And I Wish It Was a Sasquatch. It's a little song which I think I wrote on YouTube, but I played on YouTube, but I played that out quite a bit. And other ones, yeah, need a bit of work. But I think my plan this year is to start recording, and I think I'll get more focused on writing as I record. That happened on my last album, Unlock Songs. So hopefully that'll happen. Then there was Gavanna, and as I said, that was I think we did, yeah, 42 gigs, 3 up from last time, and a few more weddings this year, a bit more variety, a few more concerts. We had a fantastic concert at Leicester Guildhall, which is a historic building, 1309, and we were told on the way in that which I didn't know, William Shakespeare had performed there, so no pressure. But yeah, I played there many times over the years. It's a beautiful place to play, but it was just the perfect one. The sound was good. I mean, it wasn't too cold as it can be around December. It was a Christmas concert, and we had a wonderful guest in our friend Kathy Lazeuf, and we had to wing a few numbers, and they were all the better for winging it, you know. It was really the best one I think I've ever played there, and I knew it from halftime. I just thought, this is the best. So that was one of my big highlights of the year. Then recording, not as many albums this year for various reasons. I have been, part of my mind has gone towards, I'm going to have to replace the computer in the studio, which will require pretty much a studio refit because it's such an old machine, 12 years old. I think it's recorded 77 albums, I think I worked out. It's still alive, but I have got a new computer, but it's going to need months of uploading software, and I'm going to have to get new hardware interface, whatever. So that will be something I'm going to have to do in bits really throughout the year. And the idea was I'd record my next Songs album on that, but I think I'm going to get too frustrated if I wait. Albums, yes, I did record 3, which is again the fewest since 2008 when I was ill and I didn't record any, but for various reasons, like the one I was outlining. I got back together with my friend Jim Tetlow with Memory Wire with an album called No Longer Thinking. We did some of it live, some of it remotely, but it was special to get back together. I'm not going to go on about these too much because I've talked about them on the newsletter and on YouTube and stuff. Spent a long time on this one, Deep Ocean Dreams. It's a relaxation album, I don't know what you'd call it, but I put a lot into it. There are so many layers. There's a layer of wafty theremin and full of effects and delays, and then there's strings of, not violin strings, but I was given a Celtic harp by my friend Mo Coulson, and so there's Celtic harps, there's zithers, there's cantilé, my electric 9-string guitar, and on top of that, keyboards, bells, and everything. And so that took a lot more of my time than I thought, because when I first put all the layers together, it sounded great, but nailing it down and mixing and mastering it took a while. I then realized that some of the layers sounded nice on their own, so I released the theremin layer, which is theremin going through all kinds of delays, effects, filters, and things, as I do. And I released that as Theremin Ocean Dreams just recently. And that's going on in the background here. It's very much an ambient. I guess I pushed it into the ambient electronic side of things. But very mellow it is too. And I'm going to do one of only the stringed instruments, as I said, the harps, cantilé, zithers, the electric 9-string, and in fact I overdubbed a lot of those. So it's just, I'm deciding what to call it, but it's called Oceans of Strings, I think is going to be out. Very nearly finished. The next, looking forward then, would be the Ocean of Strings will happen before too long. I have to choose cover art and just do a final mix. But I think the first thing to come out is going to be an album with my friend Jez Creek. We're an electronic duo called Modulite. And this is a special album because it's live and it includes a half-an-hour brilliant session we did in Nottingham at Jez's venue that he runs in Nottingham, called the Church of Sound, and we did a very cosmic, but it's not too full. Yeah, it sounds like a long space voyage. That's all I can say, thousands of years. but no, it's a special one. And then we had some live tracks from my jam session I run, electronic improv session, Quad Electronic. And from our pairings there, we also came out with songs in a similar vibe. So it's got a kind of cosmic journey. You can sometimes hear these rumbling sounds of engines or whatever. But it really is, I can't tell you the title. We've found the titles for the tracks. We've agreed on the title of the album, but it's top secret, so I can't tell you yet. That'll be the first thing to come out within the next few weeks, I think. Then also my list, I've got studio refit, I've mentioned that. And then I need to, write and start recording songs. I've done that. But I also would like to get together with Audible Light, which is the quartet with Jim Tetlow, Andy Atio, Les Hayden, and myself. And we've made many albums, and the last one we did, we had to do remotely. But something special comes together when the four of us come together. It's improvised, and yet it's not discordant. It's mellow, but it's not sweet. It's not new age. It's something very special when we get together, and it's been too long. Whether we get together here in the studio, we did do it for a couple of albums at the very beginning, but it's one of my great regrets that it doesn't get more listens. It's a bit of a niche. It's not sweet enough for the new age crowd. It's not electronic enough for the electronic crowd, but it's one of my favorite bands to play. So do look up Audible Light on Spotify or wherever you listen to music, Bandcamp, etc. I'd like to get together with that this year as a promise to myself, and well, I made it to you now, so I've got to do it. I won't keep rambling on now. So I just want to say thanks for following me, many of you, for many years, whether it's through the newsletter or on YouTube or coming to gigs in the concerts and slots and various things. And I think last year I had more contact from people than I've had before, from all over the world, for people who enjoyed something I've done. And it's very easy you're working in isolation, releasing your own music, and it's very easy to feel sort of isolated. And it's been great to hear from many people who have enjoyed something I've done. So thanks a lot, and have a great 2024, and all the best to you all, and catch you out there, or out there. No, I don't know. Take care all. See you later.